Nekojin here, pairing up with Bohan to bring you another video commentary match. This time around, we've got a match between Nova and Kevin, who will be previewing a few new cards from our upcoming set, Ascension. Nova is using a Piccolo Namekian Fusion deck, while Kevin is using a Goku Saiyan Animus deck. If there are any cards that interest you in particular during the course of this match, feel free to pause the video at any time to read their text. Our first new mastery is Namekian Fusion, which allows the use of other Namekian heritage personalities to fill in the gap between your lowest and highest level. It also allows you to use the power of any of your personality levels once per combat.
I like it because it fixes the nail problem that me and others seem to have. So, you can play with nail now.
Nail's usable at this point?
Yes.
That's good. It looks like he's using Piccolo with this, as well as the Cell Sensei. All of these cards were already previewed, at least the level 4 and 5 Piccolo and the Cell Sensei were. You can find that on our database at DragonBallZOCG.com. The remainder of them are already being used by our players for different reasons. It's an interesting lineup of abilities they've selected for this particular fusion.
Yeah,
especially the random Murray.
Yeah, that's what I was like. I don't know why he picked that. Maybe anti-Dragon Ball. I don't know.
Anti-setup, anti-Dragon Ball. Yeah.
Then he gets to use Cell's thing the whole time.
Yep. There's Kevin's deck. And next we have the Saiyan Animus Mastery, taking Saiyan in a whole different direction by focusing on setup cards. Not only does it allow you to place one Saiyan setup into play from your discard pile when entering combat, but also allows you to discard a styled non-combat when you use one as well. There's our level 1 Goku personality. Has a decent physical attack, which lowers anger, and has the potential to grab a setup out of the discard pile and put it into play.
Can advance him a level as well.
Goku's level 2 ability keeps his setup safe for a decent amount of time, as long as he doesn't exceed 5 in play. We have Goku's level 3, which is a focused energy attack that allows the use of a setup's power without using the setup, long as it's normally used during the attack phase and isn't a combat ender or attack.
Nice pick for level 4.
We have the level 4 ability, which is a focused physical that allows you to exchange 2 of your opponent's setups for one of yours. And then we also have Goku's level 5 ability, allowing him to discard non-combats to perform physical attacks of +5 power stages.
He also has a higher power level than Cell and Trunks, which I find interesting.
Really?
Yes.
Huh.
Because in the show, they stated that Cell and Trunks were stronger than Goku at the time, but that's something else.
Okay. All right, and it looks like we're ready to begin our match here. Both sides have already played their first turn, I believe. Yeah, it's always that... No, Kevin's first turn's coming up here. That first turn is always kind of crucial for most decks to get an extra card in your hand. Unless, of course, you draw one from your mastery, which neither of these do. And that's kind of the downfall of the Namekian Fusion Mastery. You can't actually use any abilities that draw cards into your hand.
I would think so. You could get a pretty big card size if you didn't. Or hand size.
With certain abilities, yeah, it could be fairly devastating. 2 Saiyan Tacticals, Goku's physical attack, and... Is that Truce? Yeah, that's Truce.
I think so. Ooh, Nova's got a sphere.
That's going to make things interesting. It looks like he used the ability of Murray to shuffle in that setup that was in play.
Nova sphered it.
Yep, sphered the Truce card. Gonna play a tactical to get rid of the drill that's in play. And instead of discarding it or removing it, it actually shuffles it back into the deck.
Let's see.
He's going to go back up to full, thanks to that attack card. Also shuffles 3 cards in the discard pile back into the deck.
One of those being Sphere again. Useful card.
There's a block, which makes that Goku can't go grabbing for that setup he loves to get.
And then there goes Combat.
Now, this card right here, the Saiyan Pride, is an interesting card because it's actually a setup that's an attack.
Interesting.
It's another one of the new cards from the Ascension set.
Again, very good picture. I like commenting on pictures. Some of them are very nice.
Yeah, they did make sure to get a good resolution on some of these cards, especially the new ones. They bring them up like that, so that you know exactly what they do.
Oh, and you can have 8 of them per deck if you have the Animus Mastery.
Which is good because Animus just works with setups for the most part.
Kevin declaring
They're going to enter combat. And there's another new card right there, Namekian Omega Union. It's kind of nice using the Fusion Mastery itself because you don't really need to worry about leveling too much since you can use any power at any time for the most part.
Yeah, you don't need to have any anger or anti-anger. It's all good.
The only big issue is that you can't use a constant power. It does need to be a power. Looks like he's going to use his level 2 using Omega. And he got caught off guard drill into play using that ability.
What's he going to name?
Saiyan Pride. Yep.
Good call since it's in play.
He attaches the power pole. And he's going to use Fusion Mastery to use the level 2 again. And he grabs Knockout Drill, which is kind of devastating to Animus itself.
Ooh.
Requires that you have to be able to play an attack before you can use any setups. So depending on your hand, it could be good, could be bad. It's an awful lot of cards right there.
Got hit by a big attack.
Cross Punch, I believe.
For 12?
Yeah, it's 11 or 12. I don't remember how much Power Pole gives you in terms of a boost.
Oh, a new location, Gingertown.
Yep. Goku's physical. Looks like he's going to try to draw some cards. And if you look, he's actually letting these through because the bottom 2 cards of his discard pile are setups and locations. While he still has his Goku's ability, which would grab a setup and put it into place. So he's actually saving his 1 block to prevent him from getting another setup into play. And there's the ability. And there's the block.
Yep. And Kevin apparently expected that.
He's final physicaling for 7 by discarding the location from his hand. Has a lot of endurance on this, though, so that prevents a good amount of the damage there. Alright, now it's Nova's turn.